Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the multiplication of matrices. So there is a rule for this process. Basically, this rule states that the columns on one matrix must match the amount of rows in the other matrix. So as we go through this lesson, you'll see what that means. So in this first example problem, we have a 2 by 2 matrix. See 2 rows, 2 columns, 2 rows right here, 2 columns. And then we also have a 2 by 3 matrix, which is 2 rows as seen right here and 3 columns as seen right here. So how I'm going to do this, I prefer to use a highlighter in order to see what I'm doing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the first numbers in your first row, this matrix right here, and you're going to multiply by this matrix. So if you multiply 2 by 3, you get 6. 3 by 2 is 6. So when you add the first number from the first row and the first number from the first column, and then again with the second numbers for each, you are then going to add these two together in order to then get your answer. So you're going to continue to do this. So you're going to multiply 2 by 2 and 3 by 1 for the next matrix. And again, for your third column, you're going to do this again, 3 by 5 and 3 by 4. And then this will get you these answers to make up your first row. And then I like to take another colored highlighter so that I can see what I'm doing. You're going to repeat this process with your second row. So you're going to go along, you're going to go 3, and you're going to multiply it by this column, this column, this column, giving you the addition of the numbers right here, this blue. You're then going to add these together, and this gives you your, again, 2 by 3 matrix. So to go to the rule that we stated earlier, I'm just gonna move this up. So the first matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix. It has 2 rows and 2 columns. The second matrix is a 2 by 3. So it has 2 rows and 3 columns. So when this rule applies, if you write the 2 by 2 and the 2 by 3, you see that these two numbers right here, these two numbers in the middle, are the same. So this means that we can multiply them. If we had, say, a 2 by 2 matrix and a 3 by 2 matrix, we could not do that because these two numbers would not be the same. So remember, this has to be the same number for the columns for the first matrix and the rows for the second matrix. Okay, let's move on to a different problem where we have a 2 by 2 matrix. It is the same process. I believe it's actually easier because you have the same amount of rows and columns. Again, 2 by 2 and 2 by 2, making it easiest for us to see. So I'm going to start off by highlighting this first row and go through and multiply. Of course, 3 times 5, 2 times 3. We go through and you get 15 plus 6. 3 times 3 and 2 times 4, 9 plus 8. And then again with our second row, 1 times 3 and 5 times 3, 1 times 1 and 3 times 4, giving us the second row down here. I'm sorry, I did not highlight the first row. That might be a little confusing. To give us our last matrix C down here, which is 21, 17, 14, and 15. So in this video, you have learned how to multiply matrices. Remember that if the matrices do not have the same two numbers in the middle, you cannot multiply them. That is not an operation that can take place. Remember, the highlighting trick can be of great use to keep your highlighters with you so that you can track what you're doing. This is incredibly helpful if you have not fully mastered the skill yet. This can also be done in your calculator, depending on your calculator you have. the TI-83 and the TI-84 can do this through a number of operations. So, hope you learned a lot about matrices.